immigration thing and decide to come and work with him in his office. Um, just always found it laughable. So, but here we were. Here was COVID, and thankfully he had, he was so busy. He's like, "Mom, you need to come in and help me. I need people right now." So I did. I did it for a year and a half, and the only thing it did was, A, it saved my sanity. I have to be honest with you, but B, it made me appreciate exactly what I do and why I do it and the lives that I change in my own way. I know he changes lives too, but the fact that 9 to 5 is not for me. It never has been. It never will be. I don't like it. Don't like it. Can't do it. I actually started seeing a chiropractor after a week of being with him, and I paid thousands to this chiropractor over the course of a year. I'm not used to sitting down like this. I'm used to moving all the time. Even when I'm on the phone, I've probably covered a mile and a half before I get off this. Even this sitting down right now, it's like, okay, I'm going to sit down and be a good little girl. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, I mean, as you're now sitting down, and hopefully also most of our students,
Oh, it's fine.
um, yeah, I think most of them they joined because
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
you had.
we had lunch started only like 35 minutes ago. So some of them might be still joining, but we will also then record the session so they can rewatch it later. But I think you can go ahead, Rashida, if you're ready.
Well, I think I had mentioned to Noella if you guys can upload the 14-minute video because I'm not sure that they have all seen it, and I never seem to be good at the technical stuff. Do you know how to do it?
Do you have it, Noelia?
I have the link somewhere.
I can send it to you quickly again if you need it. Yeah, because I just never seem to be as successful here. I'll send it to you. And
Yeah.
basically, it's on YouTube anyway. But if you could just upload that, that way everybody can see it, because I guarantee you most of them have not seen it. Here, show conversation.
Yeah, I will have it.
Here, I pasted it again in case you haven't just found it. And yeah, we'll just watch the video. Or they'll watch the video. I've seen it one too many times. And then we'll do a Q&A right after that if they'll interact. You have the whiteboard, right? They can write all their questions on that. Brilliant.
Should I share, Noelia, or do you want to share?
Yep, if you feel comfortable.
Oh, do you feel comfortable?
Feel at
I hope
home.
so.
I never seem to, yeah. I mean, I guess I haven't really made much attempt because all the universities all do it themselves for me because they have all these technical, they're far more technically savvy. So I need to figure it out, I guess, myself at some point.
Okay.
Oh, I think he's gonna do it. There we go.
So I'm gonna start recording.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay. If the sound is not showing, just let me quickly know so I could.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or I think yeah, it's not. Is it on the sound?
No, no.
Okay. Right. Now it should. Okay. Let's go ahead.
I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. I hope to share some life-changing opportunities. I don't say that lightly. My name is Rashida Butler, and I am president of BSG Interns. My whole career has been built in and around hospitality, and I have walked in your shoes. That is where my passion and love lies. Because without hospitality, what are we? We have been bringing over hundreds of hospitality and culinary students every year for the past 12 years and changing lives. After this presentation, I hope you will take the time to go to our website, BSG Interns, and under the heading Students, read the testimonials of students who came before you. And if what they have to say doesn't excite you, then this might not be the internship for you. So what do? We place hospitality and culinary students from all around the world at private country clubs in America for 6 to 12-month internships. Overall, students generally come for the 12-month internships only, because why would you come all this way for anything less? But we also provide shorter internships based on university needs. The great news is that if you enjoy your first internship, then you can also come out for another full 12 months to America the year after you graduate. You can discuss that with me later. I also like to address the elephant in the room right off the bat. We do not charge the students a fee. There is, of course, a cost involved in coming out here, but BSG does not accept any monies from students. So why intern in the United States? Well, generally my question always is, why would you not? Your university or college encourages you to take a year off to go and get some practical training before you graduate so that you can learn about your industry before you head out there to seek a career. Why would you not turn to the leader in the world for hospitality, which is America? In order to come out here, you need a J1 visa. You only qualify for a J1 visa as a student or recent graduate. It's now or never. We want to create value for your CV, and here is the opportunity to do so. What are your plans for when you graduate? Do you believe that once you walk out into the real world, the perfect job will be waiting for you because you now have earned a degree? Why would a general manager select you over the person sitting next to you? What experience do you have on your CV? Do you think it matters to have degree-related experience on your CV? Do you understand that when you walk out of the university as a graduate, there are thousands upon thousands of students walking out of universities and colleges all over UK, Ireland, and Europe with the same hopes and dreams that you have? Do you think it might be worth your time to get hospitality experience in America to add that value to your CV? My team and I are generally on the road visiting universities and colleges twice a year all over Europe and Africa, doing presentations and selecting students for the year. Today, you get to spend 30 minutes with only me. But should you decide that you wish to join us, you will get to meet the rest of the team as we move forward. Once I am back from our recruiting trip, I schedule Skype interviews with all the students so I can meet each student virtually and start building a relationship with them. Once approved, the next step is a Skype interview with the country clubs. Remember, you are never going to a club alone. There are generally at least 4 to 24 of you at any one club. We also offer split programs, so you get to work and travel in 2 different parts of America, something to discuss if we interview. Once accepted by the club, we begin the visa process. We hold your hand through the entire process all the way. We work with a visa sponsor in London and one in America. You can also join us on Facebook page to chat with previous students or create your own group chats once your visa process has started. So what is a country club? Well, here is a picture of a country club in Florida. Now, as I describe it, I want you to start visualizing the amount of land it covers. Clubs come in all different sizes, but a country club is basically a private resort for their members. The club has this main clubhouse, then it has 2 other clubhouses, a steakhouse and a yacht club. In order to have a yacht club, you need yachts. So they have waterways running throughout the country club property with private yachts parked right outside the owners' homes. Some people play golf all day and some love being on the water. They also have 3 golf courses. Do you know how much land one golf course takes? They also have pools, gyms, dining facilities, tennis courts, spa, and fitness. The members generally pay a lot of money to belong to one of these exclusive clubs where they feel safe and protected, but most importantly, valued and known. This club also has 600 members who live on the property in million-dollar homes. The club is enclosed with private security points, so no public person like myself can enter this property unless invited by a member or unless you are working there. The service the members expect is warm and welcoming at all times. You will meet people that you will get to know and love so much that you will hate leaving when your time is finally done. This is true hospitality. When I go to a hotel, I am received well at the front desk, and I go to my room and I may use their facilities to dine and relax for a few days. But I almost never build relationships with the employees. That is what makes country clubs very unique. We don't work with hotels because you can work at a hotel anywhere around the world. We want you to experience a unique side of the business that other managers around the world wish they had on their CVs also. When you go for a job back home and they see that you have worked at the country clubs, I can almost guarantee you that they will select you over other candidates. So if you are interested, here is the next step. Submit your CV to me at rashida@bsginterns.com. You will get the email again at the end of the slides, or you can ask your uni academics. Your CV must contain a headshot, not a selfie, and a personal email address and a Skype address. Remember, your photo is the first impression the club is getting of you. Smile. This is not a passport photo or a mugshot. Once you've been hired by the club, we will work on the visas with you. The cost is £580 and includes your mandatory health insurance and CVIS fees. It will be a little more if you decide to do the split program of the two clubs that we mentioned previously. The embassy fees are $180 for your passport to be stamped in whichever country you're in. Above and beyond all that, you will pay for your one-way flight out to America. You don't know where you're going to be returning from, so one-way flight is good enough. The reason your visa fees are so reasonable is because the clubs supplement half the cost of your visa upfront to help with the financial stress. In the past, students have paid up to $2,200 for their visas. Due to strict regulations, no application will be accepted for anyone with previous conviction. This includes any violence, any drug-related or alcohol-related misdemeanors, regardless of the length of time since the conviction. Rent. Well, it is different for every property depending on what their offer is. Smaller clubs tend to be great about picking up some or all of the cost, while the larger clubs will charge you for housing. Whatever the cost, they are deducted directly from your paycheck bi-monthly. Generally, you will be sharing a room with one other person of the same sex. Housing rent includes all furnishings, utilities, and travel to and from work. On-shift meals are always provided. This is a cultural exchange educational program, and it matters to us that you get great exposure. It also allows me to spend some extra time with you. If you're based in Florida, then once a month, we will arrange a cultural trip. It could be to places like Kennedy Space Center. We could be going to the Everglades. We could be going to Busch Gardens or a basketball game or whatever the year plans end up being. Not everyone can go to everything because our trips sell out fast, but you will have plenty of opportunities to take advantage of these exclusive offers. Also, once a year, we host a holiday party either before or after Christmas. It's just a great fun evening for us to hug each other and say a little thank you for being together. Country club opportunities vary, but they are predominantly food, beverage, and culinary. We do offer some positions for front desk and reservations, or in golf, or catering and events. But please remember, predominantly this is all food and beverage and culinary. We too have expectations of you, and the number one expectation is dedication. This internship is a part of your future career. We would like you to take it seriously when you come out here. This is not a holiday. And also honesty. Tell us what we need to know about any medical conditions or tattoos. What does this opportunity mean for you? You get to do an internship. You get a chance to step outside the box and see a bigger picture preview of your future. You get to test your leadership abilities. You get to travel and explore America, discover your real self, and make lifelong friendships. So, what does the year in America cost you? Well, have you ever been to America? How long did you come for? What does a 2 week vacation cost in America, do you think? So, you book your return flights, you book your accommodations, any entertainment like Disney, food and beverage, local flights to different states if you wish to see New York, Florida, California, Las Vegas, etc. on this one particular trip. What do you think all of that would cost you? Sit down and actually pause about that. And then what are you going home with? Memories and photos. And your 2 week vacation is over in America. Now I want you to think about a different life. We're offering you a full 12 months in America to gain professional experience in hospitality that is related to your degree. You'll get to travel wherever you want to go while you're here for a year with money you will have earned while having a home to go to and gaining experience. You will get to travel with your new best friends that you haven't even met yet. You will go back a changed person. Do you think it's worth it? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you are right. Because whatever you have decided up here is your reality. I generally talk quite a lot about living your life in the front row. What does that mean to you? Do you decide to sit in the middle row of life and let other people make your decisions and live looking at other people's dreams? Or do you make a new reality for yourself? Do you take everything when you can while the opportunities are coming at you? Because believe it or not, these opportunities don't come knocking all the time. So you have to take them when they're right in front of you, which happens to be right now. To say no to this opportunity is easy. It requires absolutely no action on your part. Saying no to any opportunity in life is easy. Saying yes requires you to do something, whether it is to go and talk to your parents about putting the money together to come out on this trip, whether it means getting a CV and looking at it for the first time and realizing you don't have the experience you need. In order to come out on this J1 internship, you are required to have some hospitality experience. We have always said up to a year, but we're willing to look at that based on each individual person. So if you decide to say yes to this opportunity, now would be a good time to pull out that CV, go talk to your parents, go onto our website and look at what other students have shared in the past and make a decision about how you see the next year of your life playing out for you. If you wish to connect with us, please, as I mentioned, email me at Rashida@BSG Interns. You can also go on our website, our Facebook page, or our Twitter page. Finally, I'd like to say thank you once again for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation, and I look forward to hearing from you personally. It's over. I did this presentation during the height of COVID in a room with no students, no presentation to help me. And it was like the worst, well, in my opinion, it's like it was so hard to do this presentation that every time I listen to it, I cringe. I'm like, okay, I need to do another one. But it gets the message across. So it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I mean, would there be any questions from student sides? Like, feel free to type it in the chat or
Correct.
open your microphone and talk.
Oh, this will be the first one where they don't have questions. Normally it's like, oh my God, question after question after question, which is great because it gets me going in the real mode.
Uh, Maybe let me start with one. What would be the ideal starting dates for you?
Well, we have two ideal starting dates actually. Right now, we're doing a lot of placements for May and June, and then we're also starting to work on our second group of students who come out in September and October because it all depends on what the student wants, when they are available. So we have flexible dates for that. Mm,
Rashida,
no
can you
questions.
um, talk about the departments where you are hoping to hire?
Well, as my presentation said, we're really focused on F&B, but for us, F&B and events are one and the same department because these are private country clubs and they do a lot of entertainment for these members. So they're F&B and events, and then obviously culinary.
Um, what would it be the F&B role? Is it fully related to, sorry, the events role, fully related to F&B or it has some organization tasks?
No, it is. I mean, you're kind of working within the system. You're obviously a part of the whole event, but you're not organizing these. I mean, and it's amusing. Yeah, you're still students. In our eyes, you're still students. We're not turning over, multi-million dollar events to students. So you will be a part of it, and that's the learning process. And most students who come out on the events degree feel that they learn a lot from doing these events because they're different in size and magnitude and just different culturally as well. In all fairness, so it's great to be a part of it and to learn what it takes. What does it take if you're putting on an event for 10 people versus 200 people, and and obviously then the bottom line on what the budget is for each one. There's a lot that goes into it. The managers are available always for conversations as you put on these events, but you're not actually planning the events yourselves.
And in which locations do you have the country clubs? I mean, mainly in Florida, but also which other?
No, I mean, I'm kind of spread out all over right now. I have, okay, so right now we're doing placements in Florida, in North Carolina, in Nashville, New York State, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts. We kind of just go up the spectrum of the East Coast of America. But that also gives the students the opportunity if they wish to do a split internship. So we have students who'll come out in April, May, or May, June, sorry, and go to the northern clubs first, and they will do a 5 month internship there. And then in October, we bring them down to Florida, and they will do the remaining 7 months there. So this allows them the opportunity to be at two different clubs, two different management styles, two different everything, really, even culturally slightly. It's like it's different. North and South are very different. So you get to be a part of that, and that in itself is a learning curve for most students. As I've always said, this is not about the work you do, it's more about the being here and what it does for you. And I know all of you sitting listening to this have already made your way to Switzerland. So that in itself is a learning curve. At your ages, everything you do, every internship you do, every place you go to do an internship is a experience. And every experience helps you grow, helps you recognize more of what it is that you want out of this hospitality industry. And what a great way to learn it. You're in another country, you are at a paid internship, so you never have to worry about the money aspect of it. You get to be in America, you get to travel around America, but you also see how they do it here. And I know that from everything I have learned over the last many 14 years of doing this from students themselves, every internship has helped them grow, just broaden their mind and help them grow personally. And that's what this is at your ages. This is the best thing you can be doing for yourselves. Doesn't matter whether you come to America or not, go to another country, learn in another country. Everything is helping you be a better GM or a better manager at some stage of your life. I can't tell you how many managers sort of employ us only because they came here as J1s. They came from Europe and they know the value of what it did for their lives. So for them, this J1 program is very important.
No questions from student side?
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe if you can tell more about the pay that they would receive, the salary.
Oh, it's a very decent pay. And because I work with different clubs, it's not like I'm representing just one club. I have about 20 properties that I work with, and each one has something different that they offer. So I will just say it's normally $13 plus, but there's definitely a plus to it. I mean, they, and also more importantly, they're helping subsidize these visas. Before, when I used to come to Switzerland, as you know, Simon, the cost of the visa was about 3,000 and something, and by the time you did your flights and et cetera, et cetera, and then things moved on from there. For me, at least, the students seem to be fine paying it. I mean, they maybe struggled a little bit, but they still managed to come up with the money. And then I started including third world countries into the whole program as well, and visiting there, and trying to get students to come to America from there because I believed in them, but the struggle that they had. I mean, they were just as deserving of these opportunities. And I know, for example, from Kenya, I know there are a lot of students who are brought out even to the Swiss schools on a scholarship or whatever to help them get further in life. And I think that's an amazing thing we all do to help students because it's not just for the ones who can afford it. But once I started doing that, I realized how hard it was, and I just thought it was unfair. So I went back to all the properties I work with and said that I was changing my program. I did think that I was going to lose half of my clubs, but I told them that I wanted them to help subsidize the students' visas. So the students are only paying a portion of it, and they're paying for their flights out to America. The clubs are picking up the remaining cost of it. And that in itself is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. They pick you up from the airport, you're taken to your accommodations. Your accommodations are already sorted, they're fully furnished. You obviously have all your utilities included. Your transportation to and from work is already is included in the whole process. So we have done everything we can to help make this an easy process for students coming out here, because the way that I looked at it was, if I had one of my children go out, what would I want from them? And that's the way I have geared my program. So I mean, so many students have come out from Switzerland before, and originally they had looked at going to a hotel because we're not this typical branded name. Country clubs are five-star properties, but they're private. You know, if you try and go on their website, you're not going to find anything on them. Hotels are more well known. Well, you're going to work at a hotel probably for the rest of your life, but why not try something different? So these country clubs afford you a very unique experience. And as I said, when I first started coming to Switzerland, before we became known, students were selecting five-star properties. Totally understandable, because that's all they know, and they're young, and they think that's what matters. And how many of them have come back to me and said, all right, we thought this would be easy, but it's not, because we have to go out there. We have a few days that we get to stay at the hotels, but then we have to find our own accommodations. We have to find our own transportation. We have to furnish. We don't know anybody because mostly we're going out on our own, and that's intimidating. So again, this is more of a group effort to make sure that everything is provided for the students to bring them out here and have a great experience, and then get back to where they came from, and go back to the hotel industry, go back to whatever part of the industry they want to go to. But why not try something different?
And I just see we have a question in the chat if there is any limit for student to apply for an internship.
I don't know what that means. Any limit?
Yeah, any only limited numbers, that like a
Oh,
maximum
I
number?
see. No.
Maybe I'm not sure if maybe the
Yeah.
student can clarify.
No, right now there's no limit because, as I said, we have just started our placement process. So I've already placed quite a few, but I'm now starting to go into the September, October start dates. But every time I think I'm going in there, I have more clubs reaching out to me wanting still the May, June entry. So right now, if somebody's qualified, I don't have a number. And even if I filled my quota, and I had somebody reach out to me that was deserving of this and had the right experience and the right attitude about this internship, I would find the right spot for them. So for me, there's never been a case of, oh my gosh, I'm done, I can't take a single more candidate. But as long as you have the experience, and my criteria for this is, you need to have experience in the industry. So if you're a culinary, obviously you need to show good culinary experience. If you're F&B and events, you need to show that you have gotten experience in that also. You need to have good English, and the reason predominantly for us is because of the members. We want to make sure that you're not frustrated and they are not frustrated in trying to understand you. So English for me would be number one. Attitude, of course, is just as important, and then experience. Those are the three things we're looking for. Let me open up this. I've never been to the US. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I do have some questions. Okay. Do we have to pay for a tax? When you come to America, we pay three different types of taxes. We pay Social Security, Medicare, and federal tax. Students only pay federal tax, and then they can apply for a refund when they leave and they file their taxes, which they do every year without a problem. What's the work culture like? I don't know how to define that for you. We're lovely people. I'm not quite sure what you mean, like the work culture. It's like anything else. This is hospitality, and Americans are known for their hospitality, in all fairness. So it's a great culture to work in. And again, you're not going out on your own. Every club you go to, there are going to be other candidates from around the world working with you. So by the time you leave here, you're going to have new best friends from around the world, truly in that sense, because I find it amazing how you come out here. And as you probably have done in Switzerland too, when you came out, you probably didn't know anybody, right? And you have new best friends now. It's the same thing when you come out on these internships, because there's so many of you together. You create amazing, long lasting friendships. You travel all over America. And that's the other thing. This is not just a 12-month visa, this is actually a 13-month visa. So the 12-month is for the internship, and then you get an additional 30 days after that to go and travel to all the places that you didn't get to do while you were doing your internship, but for a longer period of time. Obviously, you can't leave your internship and go traveling for a week or 2 weeks. So this gives you that opportunity to do so. And most of you avail of this opportunity, obviously. Could I ask, is there any limit for student? Oh, I see. We already answered that. Okay. I like this. Can we have some more questions, please? Shy group.
Maybe let me share already the link that we would also have, so students can sign up, like with registering their information, that we would then share with you, Rashida, so you know who would be interested, and we can share the CVs directly with you. This
Kind
would
of cool.
be
Is this a
that.
private? This is your school link?
It's a Microsoft form that we created, and then we can also give you some additional information. Yeah, just also from our side, like an information to the students, we work with many placement companies in the US, but I think, yeah, PSG with Rashida is definitely the most affordable option out of the placement companies, because as she said in the presentation, you're only paying a small amount of fee for the visa, not like other companies where you will pay 3,000, 5,000 US dollars to go to the US. So yeah, I mean, you can definitely get a lot out of it, right? Like experience wise and the money that you put in. So it's a internship we definitely recommend. Yeah.
And it's not just an internship that's worth recommending because it's not as expensive for the students. It's a great learning opportunity for the students. I think any place where you have to go and step outside your comfort zone and learn something new is at the young ages is so important. I mean, this is what character building is all about. And you don't have to go and work at Disney. You just can go and have fun at Disney at the same time.
Any other question, guys? That's the case. Well, I mean, if some would come up, we can always message you as well and clarify them.
Absolutely.
Good. Or is there something you would like to add, Rashida?
No, no, I'm good. I mean, the next step, if anybody is interested, is just to send me their CV, and then we would do the Skype interview, and they can ask further questions from there. And that's really, yeah, it's an uncomplicated process.
And do you know, at the moment, I think we have two students from our side, right, with you,
Um,
off, off
I have
from
I have
Thailand, right?
BHMS students, and I have your students. I'm trying to remember. Um,
Two from Thailand, Hope, and
Oh, you have two of those. Yeah, yeah. And I have a few more actually that are right now. But yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, when they come from Switzerland, it's like I sometimes forget which one is from which school because there's so many around. So yeah, I have a few that are applying right now. As a matter of fact, I have one from you, Ralph Noun. Do you remember that name?
Yes.
Yeah, and he wasn't able to make it out last year, so he is reapplying again this year to come out. So, as a matter of fact, I have a Skype chat with him a little later to see what he's been doing since I last spoke to him. But he's coming back out. But I have a few others, but I couldn't tell you exactly which school they're from right now, unfortunately. Thank you for being here, everybody. Sorry you didn't have a lot of questions, but that's okay. Hopefully, you've gotten everything you need from the video and from the little bit that we have just spoken about now. And as long as you know where to find me, which your schools have all of my information, we will take it from there.
yeah.
Yeah.
From my side, I would like to ask that if any of you is interested in interviewing and going to a country club in the US with Rashida, with BSD, please fill up the survey that we share with you by this week. As next week, I would like to share with her already the CVs of all of you.
All right. I will let you guys get on with your day. What time is it there now? So 1 o'clock?
Yes, 1 p.m. Yeah.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Thank you for setting this up. I really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see what happens going forward.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you very much, Rashida, and have a
You're
good day.
very welcome, Simon. It was great seeing you. Thanks, Noella. And
Likewise.
talk again soon.
Thank you.
All right. Cheers. Bye.
Bye bye.